Level 1, Lesson 4, the Conscious Awareness Roadmap. Now that you have your goals set, let's create a roadmap to get you there. You will need to access your subconscious mind and its creative abilities to do this. And I am going to teach you a technique to focus your conscious awareness to build the destination on your roadmap. The prompts and inspiration that you need to fuel your manifestation journey are right in front of you and all around you right now, believe it or not. Our brains, bodies, are sensory processing mechanisms that not only pick up on sight, sound, taste, touch, smell, etc., but also vibrational energy. Sometimes manifestation can be as easy as realizing that something was in front of you the whole time. Have you ever been looking around frantically for your phone, only to realize that your phone was right in your pocket the whole time? Or how about your keys or your glasses? This magic act of prestidigitation is our conscious awareness. Think about the power of our conscious awareness. I use my conscious awareness to get answers to the questions I ask my subconscious, as discussed in Level 1, Lesson 3, as well as to periodically refocus my awareness to be in harmony with my physical and spiritual environment. Let's try a quick exercise to prove the power of your conscious awareness to you. Your conscious awareness is the fuel, along with the sensory information that you provide yourself, that will shift your emotions and create new beliefs about yourself, which is your self-image. It's energy in, energy out. Your self-image, the beliefs about yourself, is the vehicle, but you can't get to a destination without any fuel. And your fuel is your conscious awareness and emotions, which all together produce a dimensional vibration. Remember, self-image is the way to manifest the life you desire because we do not necessarily attract what we want, we attract what we are. Because the law of attraction and assumption in part states like attracts like. So you must be what you like in order to attract what you like. Conscious awareness is what you are focusing on. This can involve interoception, looking inward, or exteroception, looking outward. Emotions, as covered in Level 1, Lesson 5, are feelings as a manifestational language. Emotions are non-valenced, and intensity of emotion does matter. So, believe you are poor, and you are poor. Believe you are rich, and you are rich. Believe you are confident, you are confident. Believe you are the prize that any partner would want, and that is your reality. To that last point, I met the love of my life by walking around where I live, repeating to myself that I am the prize. And I held my body in a posture to embody that very thought and feeling. My emotions were very confident and intense in this regard. And before long, I met a girl who turned out to be my neighbor and also my high school classmate. This person was introduced to me by another classmate who was older than us, also our neighbor, through very seemingly random circumstances. Now, this girl had been my neighbor for over 7 years, and even prior to me meeting her, 4 of my other friends and neighbors were actively trying to set me up with their friends, without even asking me sometimes. But it's like my vibrational energy was that of someone who is the prize, and the universe conspired to bring me what I desired through being that person. Here's how to master your conscious awareness. You do it through the be, do, have model. Most of us are trapped by needy thinking. We think that we need to have something to do the things we want in order to be the person we want to be. We are setting up an if only then conditional reward. For example, if I only had $10 million, then I could buy the house of my dreams and travel and finally be happy. Or if I only had the partner of my dreams, then I wouldn't feel so lonely and I would be full of love. It's like the only if we have things, then only then will we be happy or in any other state as a conditional reward for those things. It's like those things are determinant for our success. And that's the faulty have, do, be model. But unfortunately, this is how most people think and consequently fail. They set up an if only then conditional reward system. Also remember that to be is what you are, and what you are is your self-image. You do not want your self-image dependent on what you have. No. You will take control of your manifestation power by asking yourself and your subconscious the following question. Who or what would I have to be in order to create what I want to have and do? Once I learned this from a mentor of mine, my life changed very rapidly. Become that person and you will have it and do it. You should focus your conscious awareness on your goal and ask yourself this question as you do so. Do it in a meditative state with your eyes closed. You may repeat it as many times to yourself or out loud, preferably out loud as your voice resonates vibrational energy with our bodies as a tuning fork, until you feel satisfied it has been internalized. So let's try it right now. Here's another technique I use, and it revolves around the neurological concepts of interoception and exteroception. Interoception is a fancy way of saying looking within, and exteroception is an equivalent meaning looking without. It's about where we focus our mind's attention. An example of interoception is focusing on the thoughts and emotions we are feeling at any moment with our eyes closed. You may sit on a couch and close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and then take inventory of what you are feeling and thinking. An example of exteroception would be focusing on the thoughts and emotions we are feeling at any moment with our eyes open. You may sit on a couch and with eyes open, focus on a spot on the wall or a plant or any object, take a few deep breaths, and then take inventory of what you are feeling and thinking as you kind of stare into that object. Both are times to listen to our gut and what it is telling us. These are both forms of self-hypnosis, which we'll talk about later on in the course, and are very, very powerful techniques. Here's a hack you can use. This especially applies to those who are in hyper-stressful or anxious states where your sympathetic nervous system is activated or you are in some stage of emotional shock. So as a rule, if the outside world is triggering you, like sounds or sights, etc., which are your exteroceptive inputs being overloaded, then use interoception. And the reverse is true. If your internal emotions or monologue is overwhelming you, like negative thoughts or base emotions, etc., which are your interoceptive inputs being overloaded, then use exteroception. Basically, if the outside is overwhelming you, go within. And if the inside is overwhelming you, go without. For example, exteroception worked wonders for me in the initial stages as I was beginning to meditate seriously. I have a very active mind and could never quiet my mind enough to get into a grounded state. And I used exteroception. I would focus on a spot on my wall or on a meditational video on YouTube or on my guitar amp and lose my thoughts in the details I was seeing, which would then bring me into a relaxed state. And over a few months, I was finally able to meditate with my eyes closed. You will learn to master your emotions in the next section, Emotional Intelligence, which is level 1, lesson 5, by learning that emotions are non-valenced, reflexive, and that by neuroplasticity we can change them. And yes, you can get out of negative emotional cycles by creating new neurological feedback loops. And with the help of our bodies, language, vibration, and mentorship, we can eradicate them forever. On the subject of negative emotions, I actually preach that not all negative emotions are bad. And I, for one, absolutely do not subscribe to the gurus who preach toxic positivity. You see, negative emotions aren't bad in and of themselves. It's what we do with them that counts. And I will teach you what to do. For example, when it comes to negative emotions, in the language level and the NLP techniques I will show you, you can actually learn to confront old limiting beliefs by interacting with them physically in order to level up your self-image, which will supercharge and quantum leap your be, do, have model. Here's a great technique that uses both interoception and exteroception, and it's called the 3-2-1 Betty Erickson technique. It starts using exteroception and then switches to interoception and is a fantastic way to calm the nervous system. It engages the parasympathetic nervous system, and it can mitigate the naggy thoughts, which again are reflexive thoughts sent by our subconscious mind to interfere with our conscious mind. So let's give it a go.